Ariel Helwani's out there, right, and he's posting and he's tweeting. A lot of the time, he's posting and tweeting like he's an expert on everything, but he knows nothing.
Hey, shout out to Bootlicker Bisping. That's his new nickname.
So one of the things that happened as a result of this entire Conor saga is Bisping and Ariel, two of the most credible and biggest platform guys in the MMA community, are now going to war. They went hard. I have not seen two guys of their stature ever go at each other as hard as those two guys did. Each of these guys talked about each other for 3 minutes plus. Literally. Like it was like a monologue that each of them had about the other guy for a really long period of time. I'm sure I will have put a little preview at the beginning. That they probably represents like 1% of the things they said. And I'm here for it, man. Obviously, Bisping's my dude. I love that guy. And I understand Bisping. He and I have very similar personalities in how we like communicate with people. So I know when I'm watching what he's saying, he doesn't mean anything by it. Like he really doesn't. Like he does not mean anything by this. I know that Ariel is going to, or I already know, obviously, watched it and took it super personal. But I watch it and I'm like, this is just how people like us like communicate, If I'm trying to say, dude, if you know something, put it, or I'm sorry, let me, like the way Ariel would say it would be like, I just would ask that if they know something, just put that information out there because you're just causing confusion and a lot of people are having a hard time deciphering what's really going on. People like us are like, just fucking say what you know or shut up, okay? Just say what you know or shut up. And we're saying literally the exact same thing. Like in our head, we're saying exactly the same thing as Ariel. It's not necessarily the best personality trait, but I completely understand. Bisping doesn't mean nothing by it. Now, in the case of Bisping, right? I think Bisping spoke for all of us, not directed at Ariel, because I think Ariel took a lot of this personally when in reality what Bisping was actually frustrated about was what, like all of us are like, what's going on, dude? Like, what is going on? And Ariel seemed to have been the only one who was out and was on it, like, obviously, I said this during the thing. I'm like, I think Conor's camp is feeding bad information through Ariel to mess around with Chandler. And I want to tell you exactly why this is notable also, okay, and why all of this appeared the way that it did, But I also said, I'll apologize to Ariel if I'm wrong. And I did. As soon as this came out, I was like, Ariel was on it, dude. I was wrong. But Bisping was talking about like he's like, just stay out of it, Ariel. Shut up, But that's right before we found out that everything that Ariel said was correct. But it's neither here nor there. Here's one thing that I want to say before we get into the Ariel and Bisping beef portion of this video, which is basically the entire video, is I want to know who knew what when. And I also want to know a couple other things. All right. Here's a question I'm going to ask to all of you guys. By the way, I popped a blood vessel in my eye. I'm seeing it on the monitor, so I just figure I'll just tell you guys it's a blood vessel that popped on my eyelid. Anyway, but I want to know who knew what when, because if we go back through the timeline, what was Conor doing right before the press conference got canceled? Like, what were the two big stories that came out about Conor right before the press conference got canceled? What were they? Dude, Conor out partying both times. And it was like, because people were like, what's he doing in the club? That is the main reason. Well, not main, but one of the reasons I thought this was all disinformation to break Chandler's balls, because I'm like, there's no way Conor's out partying when he's got a fight coming up, dude. There's no way he's out partying when he's got a fight coming up. That can't be. And, so I thought everyone thought that he was doing a Michael Chandler, or I'm sorry, a Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Like everybody thought this was a Ryan Garcia move. And, but now when you look back in hindsight, and now we know that he is out and he's, whatever happened out there. I mean, who knows what happened, dude? Even though Ariel's story is the one being reported, like, oh, he got hurt. And then it seemed like whatever, there's a rumor. John McCarthy said that it was his leg, So like, those are the things being reported. We don't know that for sure, dude. We don't know that for sure. What we know is that Conor's out and the story is that his leg is hurt. Okay. Maybe, or just that he's hurt. We actually don't even have any specific confirmation of what it is. But the fact that he was out partying that much right before this whole story happened, I don't know, dude, that's sus to me. Again, I don't know. I still don't know what to think, man. I really don't. But I do know that this beef between Bisping and Ariel is absolutely amazing. And so we're going to jump into that right now. I'm curious what you guys think. What do you guys think really happened here? Is Conor really injured? I'm seriously asking. Do you guys think that Conor's really injured? Do you think this partying thing, you think he was partying before he got injured, after? You think he got injured while he was partying? Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what's going on, but I'm very curious what you guys think. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Join the most thriving MMA community on YouTube, and let's jump into it and like this video. All right, so we're going to start right here with Bisping going off on Ariel, and then we're going to watch Ariel go off on Bisping in response. Ariel took this real personal. I'm going to be honest, I've only seen a small clip of the Bisping thing. Like, when I saw that this is 6 minutes long, I was like, whoa, this must have been, because when Ariel responded, I watched Ariel's whole response last night, and Ariel went hard. Like, Ariel went real hard. And I'm like, he must have seen a clip that I didn't see, because what Bisping said was not that big a deal. But now, looking at this, we're going to watch it together because it's 6 minutes long. And also, I have a very different viewpoint of Ariel in the industry than a lot of people, and it has to do with how Ariel views himself. Not how other people view Ariel or what his status is. It's how Ariel views his job. Because I think once people understand that, they'll look at what he does differently. All right, so let's watch this thing, and then we'll talk.
Who gives a f***? And it's none of your business. Do you know what I mean? What will be. Stay out of it, you prick. I see Ariel Helwani's out there, right? And he's posting and he's tweeting. A lot of the time he's posting and tweeting like he's an expert on everything, but he knows nothing. He's putting feelers out there. But Ariel also is the type of guy to be calling managers, agents, fighters, coaches, sparring partners, because that's what he wants to do. That's his badge of honor. He likes to break news. Do you know what I mean? I'm much like you or anyone else. I obviously am involved with the sport. I'll be commentating this weekend, and I have contacts and stuff like that. But if I hear of a situation, I'm not doing investigative journalism, trying to find out, like my life depends on it, and I will risk everything so I can be the one to break it, you know, because who gives a f***? And it's none of your business. Do you know what I mean? What will be. Stay out of it, you prick. But apparently he's been doing that. What was the statement from him? Have you got it right there?
Okay, hang on. Really quick. So this is where the disconnect is, right? Like, this is where the disconnect is, because like Bisping is a analyst. Like, Bisping's an analyst. He's an industry guy that's like, and in his YouTube, he's like, okay, this is going on. I'm going to give you my opinion. And people watch him because it's a very educated, incredible opinion. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. He's well-spoken. He's smart. He's funny. Like, so that's why people watch him, right? And I would say, obviously, like any of these smaller channels like mine or, you know, Guru or anybody else, like we're in the same category as Bisping. Not obviously like Hall of Famers that actually are at the desk doing pay-per-view commentary, but like the same type of category on YouTube in terms of like what we do. It's like news comes out, we talk about it, right? Ariel is not like that, okay? Ariel's not in the same category. And I say this defending Ariel on this because Ariel is a journalist. It's not the same thing. It's genuinely not the same thing. Ariel went to like Syracuse School of Journalism, okay? Now, the reason why this is notable is because what Bisping is laying out is literally the exact job description of being a journalist. Now, I understand, because to Bisping, he's like, why would anyone want to do that? And I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same. It's like, who would want to be that guy? Like the person who's like, oh, I gotta find out what's going on and then announce it. Like, that shit's, you know, I don't know. But like, I also wouldn't choose the career path of being a fucking fill in the blank, any kind of career that obviously would not be a good personality fit for me, you know? So like what Bisping's talking about is he's like the job of true kind of investigative, like breaking journalist or whatever, or you know, breaking story journalist is like, who gives a shit? Stay the fuck out of it, right? Like, I completely understand that. I would never do that job either. But that is literally the job. Like, that is the job of the journalist. Ariel went to school to be a journalist. He sees himself as a journalist, and he found a niche in mixed martial arts. So like, him calling around and doing all that stuff is literally the way he sees his fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm sure when Ariel watched this, he was like, what the fuck? Like, it's to him, you know? And it's funny too, because when Ariel responds, and we'll talk about that in a second, or I mean, we'll watch it. Like, you could see it that like to Ariel, he straight up cannot reconcile the criticism at all. because he's like, look at all, he keeps bringing up his trophies. Look at all these trophies, dog. Obviously, I'm doing something right. I'm the MMA Journalist of the Year. And he is in this category alone. Like, it's like, hey, who is your competition, dude? I mean, I'm not talking shit about that because, like, he's obviously does a good job, and clearly he did a good job here because he was on the story all the way along. But like, there's no one else doing what he does. That's why it's like looks kind of weird from the outside. And also at the time, right? No one, like, all of us are like, what is going on, dude? It seemed like there could be disinformation being fed through Ariel. Anyway, so, I would say Bisping's criticism may have aged not so well, but I would also say, like, look, Ariel, don't take it that personal, dude. It's Bisping. Bisping's the fucking best. Everybody, who doesn't like Bisping that knows him? Okay? Come on. But I haven't seen the rest of this, so maybe he's a bigger dick than I expect. So I just fast forwarded to get to the end because all of you guys have seen this statement. This was like, the latest on 303 that Ariel posted, and then they read it. We don't need to go over it again, but here's Bisping's commentary on it.
Okay, more to come and definitive answer one way or another in short order.
Yeah, so once again, big long statement, sounding like an expert, but no news. So I did a YouTube video yesterday saying,
In fairness, what Ariel did post ended up being exactly correct. I intentionally gave you guys that context before we watch Ariel's part because, again, the criticism to Ariel is ludicrous. Like, literally, like, to him, this is like ludicrous criticism. Because you're literally like describing the exact job that he thinks he's doing and then saying that doing it is him like doing something wrong.
Team trophies, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to Bootlicker Bisping. That's his new nickname, Bootlicker Bisping. Every time he goes on a show, I don't say a word about that guy, and he goes on these rants about me on his show. He has no idea what my job is, what it entails. He forgets who called him before UFC 199. We used to be really good friends, and all of a sudden he's decided, like Ali did, it's better to take shots at me when I never talk about him or his content. And he's going on these crazy rants about me. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy. But someone sent me a clip of him just going, like so mad. Jeez. Yeah, chee-wee-wees.
It's just how we talk, Ariel. Okay? Like, it's just how people like us talk. I'm going to throw myself in the same category as Bisping from a personality standpoint. We're not mad, dude. It's just how we talk. It's like you're just talking about a thing and then it's like, stay the fuck out of it, you prick. It's not, he doesn't mean anything by it, man. He doesn't hate you or anything like that. There's no vitriol. He's just like, if you don't like, and obviously it aged not very well, but he's like, you don't know anything. Stop leading us all around. The frustration is not with you. The frustration was with all of us. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, if you really want to source where the frustration is coming from, it's the same for all of us that are like, what is going on? What's going on? And if, before we had the outcome, we didn't know whether you were like putting out correct information. Obviously you were.
So mad, so much vitriol about me doing my job. Like, I have to know. When was the last time I broke any news? I don't want to. I don't enjoy it. But everyone's just sitting there not touching this. I don't know if there are no journalists left. I don't know if...
No, there aren't. There are definitely not. That's what it is. You are the MMA journalist. And if you think journalism is important in a sector, then keep doing your job, right? Like, if you think like real journalism is important, which I do actually. I mean, MMA is kind of whatever. Like, I don't think it's like super important in MMA necessarily. Like, just, like in terms of people going and investigating shit and breaking stories, like pretty fucking important over here where they don't do it anymore though, in fairness.
No one knows how to do the job.
Correct. No one knows how to do the job. 100%. That is 100% accurate.
I don't know what it is, but it was just sitting there like a basketball. And so we had to do the work. The work had to be done. And people were saying, I was dragging this out. People were saying, I wanted this. You think I wanted this? Get the fuck out of here. Conor McGregor being out. You think I wanted this? And I don't blame the UFC either. They pulled the rabbit out of their hat again. But there's a lot of bootlickers out there, led by Captain Bootlicker himself. It's okay. You'll get that. You'll get that slap fighting gig. It's okay. It's okay, my man. Don't worry about it.
He has a slap fighting gig. And I just am going to point out, dude, like, you do take the money when Jake Paul puts on fights and that stuff. Like, if they offer you job, you do take the money, right? I mean, you know what I mean? I don't think we're in positions here to be throwing shade on people for accepting money in exchange for microphone work in the combat sports community. You know, like, Ariel, you were on stage when Dylan Dennis smashed a fucking microphone on Logan Paul's face. Okay. Like slap fighting, Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis. I mean, come on, dude. Let's get real here, dude. I think both of you guys are doing a fantastic job, and both of you guys are making money, and I'm proud to watch it. What? But yeah, making fun of slap fighting when you do Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis. No.
It's okay. It's okay, my man. Don't worry about it. Them YouTube views will keep coming. Don't worry. That's what happens when you chase the YouTube views.
He wasn't chasing YouTube views, dude. He was frustrated, like all of us, because we're like, what the fuck is Ariel talking about? Why is no one else on this? Like, why is no one else on this? And I apologize to Ariel because seriously, I think had he not have been doing his reporting, this would have been a way worse situation for the fans. You know what I mean? My opinion. I'm not sure if that's it from him. Let's see.
Yeah. So, all the new people out there, all the bootlickers, all the almost forgots, it's all good. I'm just here doing my thing, reporting the news, reporting the facts, and still batting 1,000. You understand? So now here's the information, all right? There was a press conference scheduled for last Monday.
Oh, by the way, and then Ariel gives us the entire story. So here's the whole fucking story, which is obviously pretty notable. All right, so let's watch that, and we will wrap this thing.
There was a press conference scheduled for last Monday in Dublin. The reason why it was canceled on the Monday morning, I got word, as I said, I'm going to go through the whole fucking thing all over again, one more time. And for all the idiots who kept saying I didn't have updates, you now understand? You now understand. I've never had less faith in the belief that people understand what journalism is, what media does, good media, reliable media, trustworthy media. You think I'm going to take advice? You think I'm going to take advice on journalism and media from people who, you know, fucking sit around and just make shit up or just talk shit about people? You think I'm going to take advice? I got a fucking diploma from Syracuse University, the best media journalism school in the fucking country. I've taken classes about this. I know this is all foreign to you newbies, to you haters, to you bootlickers. But
no, it is foreign to them. Like, they really don't understand. They genuinely do not understand. Like, for real, they don't.
Trust me, I understand how this works. I know what I'm doing, and I'm still batting 1,000. So back on Monday of last week, there was a press conference. It got canceled. Why did it get canceled? Because about 24 hours prior, there was an injury sustained. Now, Ariel, why didn't you report the injury? I'll tell you why I didn't report the injury, because at the time, there was still hope that this fight would get salvaged. They were still doing everything in their power, and they were still confident that the fight would be okay. But you can't do a press conference when you're hurt. And it will be up to Conor to say, if he wants to say, what the injury is. I've been asked not to say, and I respect that, and I abide by that. Again, despite the fact that the bootlickers out there want to tell you that I don't respect this, that I don't abide by it, I do, I have, and I always will. And that's why we get the biggest names on the show each and every week. And so I knew about the injury, but you can't say anything because you're asked not to say things. And also you have to understand there's a fight that's going to happen. And so you don't want your opponent to know, that you are going to go into a fight hurt. I understand that.
Yeah. And you really don't want them to know where you're hurt.
So they had to pull the plug, but there was still hope. Hunter Campbell flew to Dublin, Heather Linden, the head of the PI, flew to Dublin. They all did their best to try to salvage this. On Monday, there was anxiety. This is last week's Monday, not this week's Monday. Last week's Monday, there was anxiety. There was doubt. On Tuesday, they had to do their due diligence. So as I reported last week, they sent out feelers. That's when words started to first get to Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka. Now for Pereira, he was like, I'm in Australia on that tour right after 302. He went to Australia with Plinio. You see on his social media. I have 2 broken toes that I suffered, one before 300, one after 300 or during 300. I'm chilling. I don't need to do this. I'm the man. Yuri was in. But when Yuri did that interview with the reporter at the Octagon show on Saturday.
Okay. You guys can watch this on your own. I don't want to just like step on his entire video here, but you guys get the point. So it was like Conor was out, then Conor was back in, then Conor was out. I mean, it's just as simple as that. That's what it is. Now, that gives me hope that the whatever injury it is not so serious that, that he is going to be out like permanently. And the fact that Chandler's waiting is a good sign that this is not going to be like some career ender. But man, poor fucking Chandler, dude. And yesterday, literally yesterday, so I don't know if you guys saw it, but Chandler put something up on social media about how like, his inner circle people were going to get sent this, margarita, beat McGregor margarita, care package or whatever. So I literally received that thing yesterday or day before yesterday, whatever. But yesterday at like noon, I texted Chandler. I'm like, I got the package. I'm like, this thing is dope. I was like excited to drink it when blah, blah, and he didn't respond, which, is no big deal. Like, busy, whatever. But then like 2 hours later, it's like the fight's off. I was like, oh, fuck. Just like salt in the wound, dude. Salt in the wound. But anyway, whatever. I hope this fight gets put back together and, I hope Bisping and Ariel can mend fences or whatever, because it's just how we talk, Ariel. Jeez. Anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.